Hey,
Hey, wait, why can't I see
so
you? Hold
let's
on.
start here
I
and
can't see
see
you. Hold on. What's happening? What the heck?
video. You should have the video on.
Okay, now I see you. Ah, good
All right.
morning. Can you see me?
Hey, good to see you. I'm recording from now, so let's
Okay,
start our fake Facebook Live on Zoom.
good to me.
All right. I have no idea how this is going to look in the end. I would love to have us like share screen, but at the moment I'm seeing myself small and you big, but I have no idea how it's going to record. So let's just go for it and give it a test and a try, and hopefully the fairies will be with us and we'll
Yes,
do our best.
yes.
It is Mercury retrograde, so okay, so I'm really happy to be with Heather today. She's my client. We've just completed the 3 month program, and she signed up for another 6 months to create a legacy of her business. And I'm just going to allow her to present herself, and then we'll jump into all the good things that she experienced and transformed during our work together. So, Heather, take it away.
Hello, I'm Heather Wilson. I started a small skincare studio 4 years ago in Seattle, Washington, and a year ago decided to move back to my hometown, which is a very small town in the Midwest, right in the middle of the United States. And so it almost is my 4 year anniversary of Sugar Cookie Skincare.
Congrats.
August, 4 years. Yeah, I jumped right off of the ledge, and now I'm finally growing wings. It took a little while, but yeah, yeah.
A winged creature now.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Um, so the emphasis of the work that I do is not so much. I'm a holistic esthetician, so I don't really focus much on the vanity side of aesthetics, of the quick fixes and the let's get rid of the wrinkles and anti-aging. My focus is more in creating a space where people can come and fully relax and receive some love and nurturing. And like for me, oftentimes one of the things I send all of my clients out the door with is like something they can do as their at-home regimen is to look at yourself in the mirror every day and say, you are beautiful. So
Yay.
like these are the kinds of things
Yay.
I
I
enjoy.
love that.
I'm a little far outside the box, but I think it creates a kind of a ripple effect in the whole world that we're living in. So I'm hoping to play a part in that with the work that I do.
Absolutely. And I love that you are on the far side because that's the people I love to work with. We are
Yes.
we are the divine rebels, and I really love people who are pushing boundaries, and you are definitely doing that. And what I feel is so unique about you is this energetic approach to skincare, which is not just applying product or squeezing pimples or something like that. It's working deep inside with the person when
Right.
you're working with them to help them feel beautiful from the inside. So you are helping the outside, but basically your energy is helping the inside, which I am totally drawn to.
Yeah.
So awesome. So let's start with the questions. First, I want to ask you, what challenges were you facing when you decided to work with me?
Um, I would say financial challenges were the number one thing that was at the forefront of my mind, because I had just finally moved into my own place, and I was still spreading myself out between my business and also working a part-time job. And I was having a lot of fear around letting go of that, guaranteed income from the part-time job, and afraid that I wouldn't be able to make enough money to live off of and to eventually, realize all of my own dreams if I just put all of my whole self into my business. And so finances were a really big forefront concern. I felt like I still think I'm working through a few blocks in the money department. being a single mom, raising my kid by myself, I think I spent a lot of years in survival mode and just making it. And so to be in a place now where I don't have to just make it anymore, like I'm doing something completely different with my life. And this is coming back to me and is going to continue coming back to me in ways that I can't even imagine yet. So that was a big one. And then also just really wanting to figure out how I can connect with and impact the community that I'm living in. It's very different for me. I went away to a big city and I've come back to this small town, and for a long time I felt like I was a foreigner in my own land. And so I wasn't sure how to manage all of these weird emotions that are going on in my head, and how do I step forward, and how do I put messages out there, and how do I create messaging that people can receive. And I just had a lot in my head swirling around. So I'd say those were the two things. Like, how do I figure out how to get rid of my blocks with money and finances? And how do I step into my power and purpose for the place that I'm in right now? I'd say that's the summary.
Really good summary. And what prompted you to start working with me?
Oh man, I think I started seeing your content on Facebook, and everything that you would write, I would be like, oh my gosh, it's like she's inside of me. These are the words I can't get out on paper. I need to know who this woman is. And I think that we did a session. You presented an offer around Christmas time that I was able to take advantage of, and I could not get you out of my head after that. I was like, I have to figure out a way that I can work with this woman. I have to figure it out. There's got to be a way. So, and here I am. That was in December, right? So,
right. And what was the thing that happened in that session that made you feel like you could make bigger transformations if you worked with me longer?
Oh man, that one session for me was like the earthquake that shook up all the sediment that had been hardened in certain areas of my heart, just in that one session. And your style and your approach for me is something that I'm really able to engage with, because it creates a space where I feel like I can be completely raw and I don't feel judged. I had only done coaching one other time before, in a business setting, and I could not stand that guy. He always made me feel like garbage. It was always about pushing sales numbers. Where are your numbers? Numbers. And I was like, but what about the people? I'm doing this for the people. And so there was I felt something different when we worked together. And I know that I've got these, I think I've told it to you before, these roots that are deep in my garden. And I've been doing all kinds of plowing and tilling and planting and weeding, but I know there's still stuff that's deep inside there that I've got to get to. And you were able to get me to that place in one very short introductory session. So I knew for sure we had to work together.
Yeah, and I hear you about this, and this is what a lot of clients that I work with say, is that a lot of other people who are positioning themselves as either business mentors or coaches or people who help you grow your business really use these tactics, which boil down to some kind of either shaming the person for not achieving the goals or for being the way they are, or they are really dry, which the people who are the outliers, the pioneers, don't resonate with. They don't resonate with cookie cutter things. They want their whole being to be growing. So, and this is what I feel you wanted as well. You wanted your business to grow, but you wanted to grow. That's the key thing. I'm having goosebumps now when I say you wanted to grow. And that's why things opened up so quickly for you. Great. And so there's a lot of people have issues deciding to jump in and invest in themselves and in the right coach. What made you certain that you want to invest in yourself, basically, in this way?
Just because I saw and felt so much instant change in myself after that one session that we had.
Mm-hmm.
I kept talking about it with my friends that are close to me that I can have those conversations with. I listened to the recording multiple times. And I think I had been wanting to work with a coach for a while. When I left the corporate world and decided to jump into self-employment, I knew that I was going to need some support. And I've been doing this by myself this whole time. And I think that I was afraid that if I invested in a coach like the one coach I'd had experience with, it was going to be like, this is what I've done, and you should emulate my actions because my actions are going to create this XYZ result for you. And the thing that was different about you is that you weren't like, this is what I've done, and now you emulate me. You were like, what works for you, and how are you going to get there, and what are the things that are keeping you from that, and how we're going to work through that. How do you want this to look for yourself? And that's big for me because I'm kind of an independent person. If everybody else is doing it, chances are now I don't want to do it at all anymore. I'm going to want to do something completely different. And
that's why we connected. I'm the same. So
right. Yeah, and I feel like with you, there was something really special that happened there. And even though I did not have the money in my bank account at the time that I was making the decision, the money showed up and it happened and it continues to happen. And so I know that there's a divine intervention that is happening here, and things are being unlocked and released, and freedom is coming in, and it's totally worth it to me. I'm not even worried about how the money part is going to work out anymore. I know that this work that I'm doing is incredible.
I love that. I think that is one of the biggest transformations for you, is that you're not worried anymore. The worry that we cleared through a lot of sessions is what just drags people down. They can have dreams, they can have action, they can have even willpower, but if you have this like gnawing worry from a variety of different things that are, like you call them, your roots, and they're not cleared up, it's going to be a waste of time. Or you might make a big change but then lose it really quickly because you don't have the foundation to stand on. So what would you say is different about my approach from other coaches? You've mentioned some of the issues that you've dealt with before, is people imposing their way. But is there anything else that you would think to say about, how am I different from other people who offer business expansion coaching?
Your coaching to me feels like radiated love and acceptance, which I think is huge because it's so easy to be confronted with lists of reasons why you aren't doing enough, or this needs to be in place before you can this. And you have never, ever presented any material to me in that way at all. It has always felt like I am completely supported, and that you are just facilitating that space for me to figure out what the fuck is holding me back. You know what I mean? Awesome. It feels like love to me, and that's the difference, I think. I have no reason to believe that you're like, there's how there's some people where you feel like they're just padding their bank account and they really don't care about you at all. That is there's not even a morsel of that in my interactions with you.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And I think that that's what I am facilitating for you and for other clients, that you own your own love. I mean, love comes in so many different ways. Through our work, through our relationships, through our being in the world. And if we are owning that, then any desire, any endeavor will work in our favor. If it doesn't have that element, it's really void. And we don't want to live a void life. We want to live a fulfilled life. So And it takes a while. And I can tell you from my journey, it takes a while to own that love and to say, yes, I have that. I have that power. And that is part of the transformational ability that I have besides the technique. You know, somebody could take my technique and not have my energy with it, and it will not make the same results. I am 100% sure of that.
I totally agree. Yes.
Great. So what are like the main 3 or few results that you would say lit you up the most after our 3-month program ended a couple of weeks ago or a week ago?
Repeat part of that because it glitched out for a second there.
Yeah, so what are the 3 main results that you are most lit up after working with me for the 3 months that we just completed?
Yes. So I think my favorite result, because it's the one that allows the most creativity, is that I have become more confident in what my purpose is here in this place. And I am starting to see the people coming out of the woodwork who are drawn to this type of work that I'm doing. And the really exciting thing is that some of those people are now figuring out ways that they can then put this back out. So I'm starting to see that change, and just that, that ripple effect is starting to happen. That for me is huge, because I definitely felt like I was going through the motions for a while there. And now I feel like there's a bigger picture of powerful change that's coming through this little tiny business I have in this little tiny town. The exciting result of that is that financially, the business is doing better than it has ever done before. I actually just looked at sales numbers for this year, and this year alone already, my gross income is more than any previous year in my business already, and it's only July of this year. So that is really encouraging to me, and that puts it's almost like throwing logs in the fire for the things that I want to do next, because now I feel like, okay, I don't have to worry about that. This thing is chugging along. I can now start thinking about expansion and what else do I want to do? What are the other things that I want to divert my attention and my energy to? That's really huge.
Brilliant.
And the third thing. I think for me personally, I have become a bit more comfortable with the transition phase that I'm in, of kind of creating a community for myself personally here. And I'm feeling less of that like heavy loneliness, and more like I'm getting to pick out who I want to spend my time with, and not so much like I just need someone to be there. Like, no, it's okay. I can have a wonderful time by myself. And the people that really impact me are the people I'm going to put my energy into. That has been huge. I'm not filling my space with emptiness anymore just to have it filled, which is big. That still kind of makes me want to cry just to talk about it.
Because that is emotional, because when we are not, I think these are all very connected. When we're not in our purpose, then we do feel lonely, because we don't know what we're doing here on this planet. But when we own that and we start seeing that our light is strong to attract others, that we actually can see practical results, like you doubling your income, after only 2 months of working with me. And the third thing, that you realize, like, you are the queen of your life. You decide who gets to be in touch with you.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that, queen of my life.
Yeah. Like I'm having goosebumps all the time. Like it's just something that really, it's priceless. For me, it's priceless. It means you're happy. It means you're living from a very stable, happy place. And although it can seem like a childish thing to want to be happy, it's actually what we all really want. All these actions that we do are just part of trying to get there. And if I've facilitated that for you, and we are going to, keep working on that, is like brilliant. I'm in awe. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
All right. So, any ripple effects that you want to mention about our work? Like these were the main changes. Anything else that just you saw happen in your life, in your emotional life, spiritual life? Anything else that you'd like to share? You can.
Um, well, I would say some ripple effects are, I think that there are some people that I kept attaching myself to that have lost interest in me, which is just wonderful. So I don't even have to deal with that because they've just lost interest. They just went away. And I love that kind of universal interaction when,
Beautiful. Yeah,
yeah,
and it's like
magnetic
you're
positive growth.
aligned and you're in your own space and you're attracting what you're feeling um, attracted to. So you're not attracting any more unwanted things, which is amazing. And
Yeah.
so, what's your general biggest takeaway from our work for your life, and like a wisdom that you took from our work?
Mm. Um, if I had to put it into one sentence, I think I would say the overall theme is be kind to yourself, because it's so easy to, for me anyway, so easy to start picking at myself and looking for all the negatives, and you're really good at reminding me and others that those negative things are not always negative. Those are little bits of our power that are within us, and we just have to change that vision a little bit. And so I would say it's be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Even the childhood memories that we've worked through, letting those come up to the surface. I'm often surprised by the memory that comes to mind when we're in the middle of a session. And my first thought is always, this doesn't make any sense. And by the end of it, I'm always like, oh my gosh, that was incredible. I can't believe that, like, this weird memory has now been, was linked to all this stuff, and now it's been released and free. And I always feel totally energized for days and days after we have a session. So
That's beautiful to hear, because we do release, and all my work is releasing core issues. So that one weird memory that you don't think about on a daily basis is actually the beginning of a negative thought or a false belief or self-deprecation or self-sabotage. And when we release that, which is what I'm an expert in, then like it just opens up. Everything opens up, and you flow naturally into yourself. So we just removed what was not working for you. So that's just brilliant. I love it.
yeah.
Awesome. And do you want to share, since we completed our 3-month program, and I felt that you could actually achieve a lot more and create a legacy of your work, and I offered you the opportunity to work in a 6-month container, which you took gladly. So I want you to share why you did that, and what are you looking to accomplish in those 6 months?
Mm-hmm. I did it because I feel changed through this process already, and I want to continue that momentum forward. And I feel really safe with you, and I feel like this is an environment where I can work through the old gunk and bring myself into that place of freedom and power that I would like to be in. And also because I don't just want to be a one-woman show doing facials and sugaring for people. I do want to create a stream of income for myself, because my long-term goal is to move out of this country and explore and travel and just get to soak in all of the world's cultures. I don't want to just like be in this one place doing this one thing forever. I have bigger dreams and aspirations than that. So I want to start laying the groundwork for that stuff. I don't want to waste too much time. I'm in a good place right now to do it. So why not?
And I love what you're saying about keeping the momentum going. I think that's really powerful when you've made some changes to start building right on those changes and see even a bigger vision of what you previously thought was a big vision. So I love that we're like exponentially growing, which is what I love to do with people. Awesome. And who would you think to recommend this kind of work for?
I would say anyone who is willing and open to exploring the depths of their soul. I think it's not a surface level kind of interaction. You have to be really willing to open yourself up and let that energy come in and work its way through. There's that electricity that's inside of us. And so yeah, you can't just come in and like say what you know, the surface level, this is what I think you want to hear. You have to be authentic and real. Anybody who's willing to do that is, I think, would get a tremendous impact on their life as a result of working with you.
Yeah, it's true. It's very deep work, and it's very gratifying and satisfying. But I feel like it's really for people who are, you know, interested in evolution, who
Yes.
are going further than like just, you know, these are 4 pillars of my life, like, you know, money, family, relationships. Like, yes, this is all beautiful and we want that. This is the 3D life we live. But there's like a calling. I feel you have a calling, and other clients that I work with, they have a calling. Something bigger than an ordinary life is calling them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's perfectly said.
Awesome. All right. Well, I won't take more of your time. I really appreciate this. Whoever wants to get in touch with me can send me a PM here below this video, and we can start a conversation on how this changes that Heather had can happen for you. So thank you, Heather, and wish you a wonderful day, and talk to you soon.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Have a good one.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.